Hi, my name is Chris Chung. I'm the product manager for Sketchbook. I have here with me today Susan Murtaugh, an artist, designer, and a good friend as well. We're here at Autodesk University 2010, and today we're going to be talking about the art gallery that you helped assemble, and also to talk a little bit about yourself and what you've been up to in the last year or so. Susan, welcome.
Welcome to you too. Chris, it's so nice to be here. Thank you.
No, thank you for coming. My first question that I really wanted to ask you about was really setting up this wonderful exhibit of essentially 100 unique art pieces created by 10 artists presented here at Las Vegas in the Manufacturing Lounge. So I know that was an interesting challenge when I presented it to you, but what went through your mind and how did you actually bring the show together?
Well, it's really an interesting process because you want each artist to bring their own talent to the table, or to the gallery walls, so to speak, and you want to also show different kinds of art. It would be a bad idea to show all portrait artists, for instance. You want a good mix showing the capabilities of the software itself because it's so fabulous. The software is great, so we want to show the entire capabilities of the tools that are available to each artist.
Do you think that because you've been so active in the Twitter environment, in the Flickr environment, that that's kind of changed your view of what the artist is or who can engage in using such sophisticated tools?
Absolutely, and I think that one of the important things to know about our gallery here today is the artists were chosen very selectively. They're not only good artists, but they're good communicators. And I think that that's really important because they help sell the product, and the product helps sell them as artists. So I wanted people that worked hard in the Flickr community to help others too. They're almost like educators in a way. Wouldn't you think? Well,
very much so. I think for me, I've always been surprised by the sheer diversity of the user types. I mean, we're seeing even little kids submitting art, but their art is inspired by things that they see on TV or other artists that have been posting. So one thing, just kind of staying on the Flickr topic, is that is a really, really encouraging environment. I've rarely seen something online where people are allowed to speak their mind, that everybody is really, really constructive and encouraging.
Oh, I think so. And matter of fact, I'm always pleased when I see someone say to another artist, I really like this piece, but have you thought about what would happen if you just changed that shadow a little bit? And, if you don't mind my saying, and everybody is very polite, and I've had more artists come back and say, wow, sometimes it takes another eye to look at a piece, and your response has actually made my art better. So it's that kind of community that makes art even better then too, right?
It's dynamic and it's a living creature in some ways, and it's very exciting. Just coming back to the show, you've actually only had a chance to meet a few people who are participating. It's just strange seeing the person behind the art for the first time.
It is, and it's been very exciting to meet the people behind the art. Usually we have seen photos of each other, but and it's very rare though, or had emails. We've been corresponding for almost 2 years now, but we've never really heard their voices because they live in Germany or they live in Portugal, and our phones aren't. We still haven't FaceTimed enough that we've talked to people directly. So when you hear their voice for the first time, it's like your gift has been given to you because now you have the whole total person.
It's like the first time meeting me, and now I'm standing on a box.
I know, and I really like it, and we see eye to eye, don't we?
Let's talk a little bit about your background now. Because
old.
You're retired from a really productive life in the design community.
I haven't.
Can you talk a little bit about kind of what you accomplished in that life before you migrated to life after?
Let's not go back to 6th grade. But,
no, don't need to for that.
But I did. I went to art school, and I knew at a very early age I wanted to be an artist. And what's kind of freaky is I knew at a very early age I wanted to be in advertising. And this is not something that people normally aspire to do. But I had seen ads, and I said, I really would like to do that. I would like to communicate with people. So I did go to the Chicago Academy of Fine Art and graduated and got out and got some really nice, lucky breaks in the meantime. And I know you're very fond of one of them.
I am. Tell the story, please.
Yes, I worked for a very small graphic design firm. There were 3 of us designers, and I was pretty fresh out of school. And the phone rang, and the boss said, "Huh? What? Movie? Oh, God." And he hung up the phone, and he said, "Well, we have a new assignment. Cancel all your plans for the next 8 months. We're going to be doing toy packaging for some new movie called Star Wars."
Star what?
And Star what? And all of a sudden we started getting these little tiny figures, and I worked as a liaison to Kenner Toys, and who knew what this was going to do? And believe me, I would have saved every single sketch and every prototype if I knew that eBay would be invented 30 years later.
On that topic about not knowing what's going to be invented, how has the mobile device changes really affected your life?
I was thrilled to retire, and I knew that I would be doing some community work and some teaching because art has always been very important to me. And my husband and I were building a house at the time, and about the same time that you and I connected a year and a half ago, I had been using the Sketchbook Pro 20
on Mac.
Yeah,
right?
on Mac.
You were using it on the desktop.
On the desktop, and I really liked it, and I really started to feel a bond with it, though I had not really illustrated on computers that much before. I'm a traditional painter, trained in oils and acrylics, and I love pastel. But I realized that I was getting some of the same effects, and that's when I wrote you, and I said, you know, I think we could work on this brush and really make it happen. And about 7 months ago, I donated all my traditional art materials. They're all gone. They went half to a museum and half to a local high school for all of the students because I'm now that committed with the sketchbook.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is, and I love it, and now that it's mobile, it's even better. It has totally changed my life.
How much do you think the fact that there's a buildup of excitement when you even here when we see people walk into the gallery and they just smile when they go and they have disbelief. This was done on
we had to prove. We've been doing
right.
We've been doing demos today and showing the naysayers that they can do it too. And the thing that I've been finding exciting is people they touch it like it is a good piece of canvas. Once they make their first stroke, you can see that they flipped over and they're totally believing this whole thing is happening to them too. And I think that everyone has a little inner artist in them. It may be abstract, it may be crazy cartoon, but back there they all remember that wonderful time when they were 5 years old using the Crayola crayons. So it's nice to go back to that, and the mobile devices make it so easy that you can snatch 5 minutes here and there instead of committing hours to cleaning up.
What I've found, and I don't know if you've seen the same thing, is that there's a lot of people who say that, oh, they drew as a kid, and they haven't drawn since that time. And perhaps the iPhone or an Android art pack has brought them back. What do you think it is that brings people into it? Because the pencil and paper they have on their desks, everybody has the opportunity to draw or create. What is it about the device?
I don't know, but I'll tell you, I think there's a great excitement, and I think seeing, part of the smiles of seeing the artwork when you walk into the gallery, I think triggers that immediate response in the viewer. And it makes them smile because what's going on in their brain is they're saying, this is really good, but you know, maybe I could do this. I think it brings back an inner challenge, and I think it brings back an inner joy of remembering those earlier times. And again, with all the artwork being so diverse, they can go to their favorite kind of art and look at it. Yeah.
I think one of the things that I've always been impressed with in terms of your collection is, well, one, the sheer volume.
Yes,
and
many.
And two, the mere fact that many people who've matured in their style normally don't diversify. And yet, you know, one day I'll see a stuffed toy rendition, and the next day I'll see Vegas cigarette packets being illustrated. What keeps you kind of fresh?
I think the fact that I would see a teddy bear